Episode 8. Swim Avengers, assemble! The next day, we already got one other teammate for the swim club. Before we find the next member, we need to visit the pool. And oh boy, it needs to be cleaned up and repaired. Luckily, Satomi, Hana-chan, Nagisa, and Rei will be helping out. I think we got the right kind of mops and cleaning supplies just to do this. I remember doing something similar to this in high school for the Iwatobi Swim Club. Of course, the boys did most of the work, but this time I will be doing it. I know my boyfriend's very handy with building furniture, as he did buy some of it from IKEA, and he has Japanese furniture as well. I'm not sure if he'll be able to help out today, but I will be seeing him again tonight to help him with his homework. So I got the mops, and Nagisa got the other cleaning supplies. Of course, he helped pay for it too. Getting this abandoned pool wasn't easy. We had to go to the attic of the PE building of the college. It was completely locked. We had to get permission in order to unlock it. It seemed like it's been locked for ages. It was blocked for quite some time. We had to use one key to the door to pick up and break the lock. But as soon as we saw the pool, it was an empty room that was all dark with green mold and moss was starting to grow. It was sad to see something like this get so abandoned. So this is where the pool used to be. We need to get started with the cleaning, and Satomi asked if she could clean the edges. I agreed with her doing that. Nagisa offered to repaint the white lines that help separate the lanes. Rei didn't know what he wanted to do, because he just didn't like that it wasn't beautiful. But I told him that in just a moment or two, we can get this pool back in shape. So I'll be mopping and brushing the bottom. It was a chore, and I imagined it to be tedious at first, but the way of scrubbing it almost kind of reminded me almost like a game. Like I was some kind of knight, and the mop was some kind of sword, and I had to wave it back and forth, and I wiped it more and more. The moldy moss got obliterated. Some of the foes of the moldy moss were harder to clean up than others, so I struck the mop every inch of the moss and the mold, so it came off easily. And some of that moss was so large, it was almost like fighting the final boss of the game. I had to come up with a strategic plan to scrub every single area. Everyone else did their part to clean as well. After all that, the pool was starting to look so much better, almost spotless. Getting the water back was another process. I got exhausted, and so did my friends. I thanked Satomi for her excellent word. It felt good to clean this, and getting the water back will feel satisfying as well, so I thanked all my friends. Makoto was waiting for me at his place, so I knocked on his door to make sure he was home. He told me to come in. As he opened the door, "I'm so glad to see you, sweetie. How was everything, like school and work?" He said school was mostly okay. He just has an assignment that he needed me to help him with. He said work wasn't bad either, but he said he even though he loves his job helping the kids learn to swim, he said some of the kids have been a bit more of a handful, so he seemed pretty stressed. I told him about the pool cleaning, and he said he will be able to help fill the pool to water tomorrow. I do still need another member to join the swim club, but I just don't know where to look. I remember hearing the name Ryota. I think it was a classmate of mine. Maybe I need to ask her the next time, but I can't remember her first name. But all I remember, it was a guy-sounding name, just like my own. It's nice to know that I'm not the only girl in this college to have a guy-sounding name. So, apparently Rei had contact for this person, so I decided to call her the next day. But just now, I'm just spending time with Makoto. So I brewed us some tea and looked over his homework. Man, he wasn't kidding about this assignment was so hard. It required heavy research and APA citations. I mean, I also have a research assignment like this, but it was intense. after all the hard work we did, it was time for bed, so I said goodnight and waved to him. I went back to Hana-chan and I's place and just crashed. Hopefully the next day I can meet with Ryota. The next morning, Hana-chan and I rushed to get ready, showered and dressed. Just as soon as I got done, Hana-chan did too. There was a knock at the door. So I opened the door to see. It was my boyfriend. So he picked me and Hana-chan up to fix the pool that needed to fill it with water, so that all my friends helped finish up the process with the pool. We all gave ourselves a pat on the back for all the hard work we did. The pool was starting to look pristine and clear and good as new. Nagisa, Makoto, Hana-chan even etched drawings in the cement of the pool. Hopefully I'll get a better look at those later. It doesn't look abandoned at all anymore. I just needed to contact this Ryota. So I tried to call the number, and it was ringing, but it wasn't clear if anybody was going to pick up. It seemed very mysterious. It seemed to have a very mysterious demeanor. I hope this is a real person. How much I tried, this person didn't even seem to pick up. My newest teammate, Satomi, suggested that she would try to call Ryota directly, since she knew Ryota back in elementary. And she said that Ryota's been living in Tokyo the same time as she had, because she moved around high school. It's been a while since they've been in contact, and she's curious what she's been doing now. Satomi gave the number a whirl to see if Ryota can answer, and no answer. But when it seemed all hope was lost, a mysterious shadow object sneaked right behind Ray. Ray was grunted because he thought Nagisa was pranking him. But it was a voice behind him that said, Seimaru, ha 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 ha, a voice said from behind, and Ray was startled. We didn't know what that was for. And then Ray said that was his cousin. What were you doing here? The person I was looking for was actually Ray's cousin. Oh, so you never thought I would... He didn't think he would see her again. The mysterious girl replied. So I asked the girl if her name's Ryota, and she replied with a nod. She said her name is Seimaru Ryota. And Satomi was so happy to see Sei, but Sei just stayed silent with a blank stare. Can you still swim? I asked. Now that the pool's ready to go, I hope she can show us off her swimming moves. She did not respond to it. She seemed like a tough cookie and did not seem comfortable swimming right away. I wish she could say something, but she seemed shy. And Ray even said that even his own cousin won't even talk to him anymore. And I didn't even know that Ray had a cousin until I met her. He said, well, his cousin doesn't talk about it much because she's been living in Tokyo for a while, and she was more into swimming than he was at the time. He used to think that swimming wasn't his thing. So she didn't exactly like me, but now he loves swimming because he loves doing the butterfly. But he doesn't know how her feelings have changed since he can swim now. Nagisa suggested that she should be the one that talked to Seimaru. And we weren't sure if that was going to work, but I know after all, Nagisa was the one that convinced Ray to join back in high school, and I think Nagisa might have a chance to talk to this cousin of his, I said in response. Makoto also agreed with me. If there's anyone, and Makoto's words were, if there's anyone that's encouraging, it is Nagisa for sure. Nagisa said to say, hey, you want to swim with me? I heard you're pretty fast. I also think you're pretty cute. Nagisa said sweetly. Sei smiled a bit and blushed. And then she replied with a yes. Nagisa took off his shirt to show off his swimsuit, and she took off her dress to show her swimsuit. He held her hand, and they both walked into the pool together. They got in the pool swimming together, and then Satomi joined, and so did I, and Makoto and I. Rei and Hana-chan did not come prepared, so they just walked and talked to each other. We all practiced. Satomi and Nagisa raced each other with the breaststroke. Makoto and I laid on our backs together. Sei swam freestyle but sideways. We were all impressed. Nagisa asked her to show him how she does it. Even though I was curious, I asked her how to. It felt so good that we all practiced and bonded this way. If only Hana-chan and Rei could join us too. Hopefully next time. Both of you swam wonderfully, I said to Satomi and Sei, and they both thanked me. It was amazing. I'm amazed that you can even do the backstroke. That's something that I have a hard time with. Can your boyfriend teach me too? Satomi said. Said to me, and I laughed. I think you and I can be a team. Is this blonde boy in it too? Seimaru asked. I was flattered. I was flattered, and she even said something of a compliment. I said, yes, Nagisa's there, but he mainly just helps out. After all the fun, I had one more thing to say. Listen up, girls! I am going to be your captain. You need to take your job more seriously. We have rivals to go up against. We don't know who they are yet. We are going to beat them in a relay for sure. I said affirmatively. Aye, Captain, the girls responded. My question is, though, what should our swim club be called? And Satomi suggested, I know this common phrase that's often used for friendship, but we could just add water. Mutsubitsuku Shoru. Otherwise means the tides that bind in English. And it was the perfect name for our new swim club.